What are some of your favorite locations in a video game? A few things might come to mind, but I bet your first thought is somewhere cozy, somewhere you'd love to visit in real life, somewhere like Woohoo Island. I revisited Pilot Wings Resort a couple months back, and it reminded me just how much I love that setting, and it left me craving more woohoo action. And what better place to get it than with Wii Sports Resort? As I'm sure most of you know, the original Wii Sports is one of the best-selling games of all time, largely because it came free with the console. What a concept, eh? It was a showcase of both the Wii's motion controls and the accessibility of the console, where anyone could pick up and play regardless of gaming experience. While playing it solo for footage isn't the most exciting experience and makes the whole thing feel a bit antiquated, it was a great party game to play with family and friends back in the peak of local multiplayer, and its nostalgic charm is hard to deny. Wii Sports Resort is something of a tech demo too, this time for the greater precision of the Motion Plus accessory, but it's also a much more substantial experience in terms of content and single-player friendliness. It weren't until I returned to it recently that I really took note of the stamps and had a lot of fun and surprising difficulty trying to get them. Like, trying to find the hidden targets in archery is pretty hard in a standard def game anyway, but actually hitting one? Damn it! I know there's a lot of people who take issue with motion controls, but having been basically raised on them, I don't have a problem with them. And revisiting this, I realized how much I've taken for granted the creativity with which Nintendo utilized them. The fact of the matter is, many of these activities would not be anywhere near as fun or memorable if they were controlled with buttons and joysticks. You get to be a lot more involved in the game and often look like a numpty in the process. So let me take you through each mode one by one as I share my feelings and personal experiences with them. First up is the most popular mode on my copy, Swordplay. Me and my sister used to have great fun swinging about like madmen trying to get each other off in the duel mode. And it's still a lot of fun to do that, but I do also like that you can't just do that in the showdown. There is more strategy involved with blocking and waiting for an opening. Given how much I've gushed over Skyward Sword on my channel, it shouldn't be too surprising that the Motion Plus Swordplay mode is one of my favourites in this game. Wakeboarding is a satisfying one to be good at, mainly because of the sound effects. Frisbee is enjoyable, it feels great to get a mid-air catch, and it can get pretty challenging trying to hit the balloons. Plus that little dog is adorable. Archery, I think, contains the most ingenious use of motion controls, and goddamn, getting a bullseye feels good. Mwah. 10. Basketball is decent, although I do find if the controller isn't properly calibrated, it's a lot more awkward to control compared to some of the other modes where you can generally get on fine without recalibrating. I don't think I'd ever touched the 3-point contest prior to this review, but that's enjoyable too. I imagine more so with another player controlling the enemy team. Now, table tennis I think is one of my favorites. It's been a long time since a game got me to stand up while playing out of sheer focus. Whacking the ball with the Wiimote feels great, and even against an AI, I found it got genuinely tense. The return challenge is also a lot of fun. This mode is a good showcase for how the Motion Plus heightens the gameplay experience. I had a fantastic time revisiting this sport in particular. The first of the two modes properly returning from the original, golf, has a really pleasant atmosphere and hitting a great shot is exhilarating, but I do find it's easy to overshoot when trying to putt the ball in because you have to swing the remote enough so the game picks up on it. At least that's the excuse I'm using for not being better. There's also Frisbee golf, which can be a lot easier for sure, although I'm not always a natural at it. I think bowling might be the most iconic of all the Wii sports. I mean, in essence, the motion is exactly the same as in real bowling, just less heavy. It's simple, satisfying, there's really fun extra modes like 100 pin and spin control, and getting a strike feels awesome. Boom!
2 in a row!
Oh, hell yeah! Go on, let's get a turkey. Apparently I'll get an actual turkey for it. Oh, God damn you, pin 4! Rumble. The next two are probably my least played. Power cruising takes a bit to get used to, but can be pretty fun once you do. Canoeing is fairly awkward to control, so I think that is my least favourite of all the sports, but I still do get satisfaction out of reaching the finish line on time. There's no truly bad mode here. Cycling I do not recall being a total workout, and I only did the 3-day version. You have to play this one with a lot of consideration, when to go all out and when to conserve energy, and I like that about it. And finally, we have the air sports. The skydiving makes for a very memorable introduction to the game, and it's fun to return to link up with as many people as possible. Now, I'm not sure I've ever actually played the island flyover on this game before, which is surprising, especially coming off Pilot Wings Resort. I will say steering with the Wiimote does get a bit tiring on the arms, so the Pilot Wings version is preferable in that regard. But I did realize Pilot Wings' rendition of Woohoo is a bit lifeless when compared to the Wii Sports version, which has a lot of Miis hanging around and plenty of great charming touches elsewhere. But whether on the 3DS or the Wii, this is the mode which best showcases why Woohoo Island is one of the greatest video game locations of all time in my eyes. I love getting the info rings to learn more about each area and landmark, the thought having gone into each location making everything feel more vibrant and alive, and there's a breeziness and personality to it which extends to the game as a whole. Having all these activities connected through this idyllic environment elevates the experience to a little more than just a really fun sports party game. As a result, there's few games I wish I could live in more than this one.